struggling, if you're struggling right now with something and you are ready to give up, you're ready to walk away, you're ready to get out of the fire that you're in because you feel like, man, this enough is enough. I'm tired. I don't even want to deal with this anymore. I want to tell you, pause for a moment. Let's hang with me for a second. I want to let you know why the fire you're going through is actually going to refine you into something greater, something better, and it's going to step you into where you're going, where you're being called to be. And my name is Randall Duperval, and this is the Everyday Man. I talk about, I'm not the everyday man, or some people want to say that I am, but I unearth what you're dealing with in order to renew, rebuild, and redesign and get you into where God is calling you to be. And we are going to talk about staying in the fire. I want you to do me a favor. If you're a man right now, I want you to stay on here, stick with me, hang with me, okay? Because we are getting whole, okay? The goal is for each and every one of us to get whole, to be what to step into the legacy that God has called us to. But if you're a woman and you're watching right now, I want you can hang on because you might pick up on some things that you didn't even know that you needed. But at the same time, what I really want you to do is share this with another man. All right. Subscribe to this channel. There's so much that is going to be provided here. But let's talk about staying in the fire and why you're in the fire. Okay. That's what we're going to talk about. And I want you to hang with me for a second before you decide to forfeit what you are going through right now. All right. Real quick, I just want to make sure I invite some people just as you're doing. So I'm going to be doing what I'm asking you to do, and which is inviting others. And so we are staying in the fire. I'm glad you're able to hear me. I believe you're able to hear me, which it looks like that is the case. And if you're in the chat right now, go ahead and let me know where you're watching from, what you're a part of. And let's get into this. All right, I'm gonna get right into this because I believe that there is so much meat in this. I've been holding on to this for some time, and I'm ready to provide it to as many people as possible. So let me just go ahead and as I mentioned, invite others, and boom, here we go. All right. So, why are you in the fire, right? So there's an opportunity right now where you have to say, "Hey, I'm gone. I'm done. Enough is enough. I'm not hanging back any longer. I'm not going. I'm not stepping into what I'm not stepping into where I saw my father step into. I'm not stepping into where I saw my mother step into. Man, I know what this looks like. I'm ready to give up right now. As a matter of fact, I've been through this already. I am no longer getting into this situation again. Well, I want to invite you to be able to step into what God's calling you to. And listen, I'm a Christian man. I believe in the word. I might spit a couple of words of the scripture with on you and stuff like that. But I want to let you know that whether you're a Christian or you're not, I believe that you need to hear this because listen, at the end of the day, men go through what men go through. Doesn't matter whether you're Christian, whether you're gay, whether you're what doesn't matter what it is. Doesn't matter whether you're going whether you're not even what's it called, a believer in any sense. Maybe you're atheist or whatever. Well, I don't know what it is that you're going through, whether you're in politics or you're in the private sector. I don't know. I want you to know that that doesn't matter because at the end of the day, I'm talking to you who is the man. All right. And so there's a reason why you need to stay in the fire. And I got my notes in front of me. So if you see me looking down, that's what I'm looking at. All right. The fire isn't meant to break you. Okay. The fire is not meant to break you. The fire actually is meant to shape you. It's meant to put you into a place that allows you to step into more, into greater. And when I think about the fire, I think about, and this idea as I'm building it, as I'm sharing it with you, is what I began to realize is it is an opportunity for others to understand that although you are going through a situation, a struggle, something that you've probably been going through for years, maybe it's something that you just started going through. And I'm thinking about a man right now as I'm saying this, and I wish he can hear this. But even though you've probably been going through this, what I realize is that it actually gets you to the place that you want to be. Okay, it gets you to the place that you've been asking to be. It gets you to the place that you've been wanting, yearning for, yearning to become, the man that you've been yearning to become. And I actually want to share a story with you about my own life. Like I remember I remember a couple of years ago. I want to say it was about 2017, and I had just lost my job. I literally stepped into the office. I went to work that day not knowing what to expect. I stepped into the office, and when I stepped into the office, they told me I had to go get my things and get out. And a part of me was excited because there were more that I wanted to do. There's more that I had, prepared to do, and I just couldn't do it at the time because I had a 9 to 5. Maybe some of you are in that same situation where you have things written down of things that you want to do, things that you want to become. Maybe you are in that situation, and as you're in that situation, you just don't know how to necessarily get out of it because you need the money from work, that you're working in order to take care of your lifestyle, whether that's kids that you have, whether that's a family that you have to take care of, whether that's a situation that you're currently in, and the job is providing that opportunity for you. But at the same time, this is not where you want to be. You actually want to be here. And as I'm sitting here at my job, I lose it. I call my wife and I say, "Hey, babe, it's time for hey, listen, I just lost my job, but it's okay. We're gonna step into where I believe that God's been calling us in that season, and it's gonna be a great time." And so I didn't expect to be out of work for 9 months. Yeah, 9 months. 9 months I was out of work. And I didn't expect to be there for that long. I didn't expect that to be the case for my life. However, and mind you, I was just about to graduate with my master's, right? And in education and things of that nature. And I remember losing that job, and I'm like, man, how can I what can I do now? And I was ready to step into the entrepreneurship journey that I had in mind. But I remember seeing like my wife being pregnant with another child, while we have a baby, right? And we have a baby, but then we're pregnant with another child. So we're expecting, but then at the same time, it's like, how are we going to provide? How are we going to take care of this child? How am I going to provide? My wife has to make sure she goes to work, can't take days off. Foot is swollen, right? Going to work in the cold, and all of these things are happening all at the same time. Then eventually I'm like, all right, I gotta go look for something to just cover the gap. Doesn't matter what it is, things of that nature. I'm looking, I go to interview after interview, interview after interview, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, whoa, why am I in this situation? Why am I going to interview, getting on phone calls, not missing out on the opportunity for them to call me and to call me back? They're not calling me back. They're not hiring me. Nothing's happening. People are stepping over me in terms of they're being more qualified, or whatever the situation was then. And I had no idea what it was in the moment, but I realized that I was losing sight of what was supposed to be mine. I was not getting the opportunity to do that, and it went on for 9 months. And many of you, you might be looking at this and you're like, Randall, how could you not have a job for 9 months? You just got your master's. How could that be the case? But I'll be honest, like I was looking, I was doing what I had to do, but nothing was coming of it. I'm not the type of guy that's gonna sit around and let my wife work for me and bring in all of the bread and do all that's necessary. No, I am the type of guy that I will put my best foot forward. I even applied for UPS at the time, and they weren't willing to hire me. And if you work at UPS and you're upper management, well, you lost a good one. But I will say, as I was going through that in the moment, if I just wanted to give up. I just wanted to step out of that situation. But I did not know what it was preparing me for. I did not know what it was allowing me to become. Listen, if you're in the chat right now and you feel like you're somebody that's going through that, you could be watching right now live or you're watching on the rebroadcast. I want you to put in the chat, like, that's me. That's me. And if it's not you, I want you to share this with somebody that you believe can use this. But more importantly, I want you to subscribe to this channel because we are going to continue to move forward and get to the place where we can understand, like, even in the midst of the fire, I can be refined to become the man that I am supposed to become. Because deep down inside of you, you know that there's more. Deep down inside of me, I knew that there was more. I knew that my life wasn't supposed to be just to become an Uber driver. And at that time, that's what I was doing to at least make my ends meet. When there were nights where I was working and my son's school was due the next day, and I still didn't have enough to make the end to make it meet. But I'll tell you what happened during those moments. God came through with a miracle where somebody would give me like a $50 tip. Somebody would drop like a whole lot more than was necessary, or I'd get like I would get numbers after what's it called? I don't know what they're called, but rides after rides come back and forth, and it was an interesting moment in that time. But I want you to know that you've got to stay into the fire and stay in the fire. Don't leave just yet. Don't walk away just yet. You see, here's the thing. I want to mention like this biblical story of Joseph. Joseph was a man that actually was a boy that was born in Israel, and he was an Israelite. He had seven brothers, and in the midst of him having those seven brothers, he also was one of his dad's favorites, and so he was actually his brothers were jealous of him, and his brothers ended up selling him to slavery, ended up throwing him into a pit and then selling him because they felt like, man, we can't let him die. So at the end of the day, they started to basically they basically betrayed him. But you see, what it was that about Joseph was that Joseph had a dream, and this is why I'm wearing this shirt, God dreams, because the thing is, like, do you have a dream? Like, I know you may have a dream. You may have something that you have inside of you that is that's pushing you to keep going further, but you still don't see it on the horizon. Well, I want you to know that there's a mountain in front of you, and beyond the mountain, there is the vision that you have thought of all this time. There is what has been placed inside of you. And you see, this guy Joseph was sold in slavery. He was thrown into a pit by his own family. He was even falsely accused and imprisoned, but at the same time, there was elevation coming. And mind you, elevation may not come in the place that you want it to. Elevation may come in another area. It may come in another situation. It may come in another season of your life. And I say season because there's seasons that we go through where we're transferring into, we're in April right now. I think we just did actually, but we're transferring into the spring season. And before that, it was the winter season. And in the winter, we're all I was gonna say cuddled up, but I don't know if you're married. I don't know if you got a spouse, but we're all cuddled up, and we're all kind of like put into, we kind of hide ourselves inside because we want to make sure we're warm and things of that nature. But now is the time to come out, and I believe that as the seasons shift, what's happening right now is that you're about to shift. You're about to step into a new opportunity. You're about to step into something that looks just a little different, right? You see, when the seasons change, what happens is the flowers start to bloom. And it's not all types of flowers, but certain flowers start to bloom. So it still looks a little bit like the season before because there are certain flowers, bushes, and things of that nature that are not blooming just yet. But then you have trees that start getting their leaves again. You have the grass starts watering again, being watered again. You start hearing the birds chirping a little bit louder again, right? But as all of these things are happening, you begin to see that, okay, there's a shift happening, but is this shift for me? Well, I want to let you know, as you stay in the fire, the shift is available for you as well, you know? And I say that because I want to give you some hope. I want to let you know, like, listen, there's something inside of you. There's something more. There's something available inside of you, and it's available for you, and it's available for your legacy. And but you have to sit back and kind of allow the situation to continue to flow through. You see, you know, something I want to bring into kind of like remembrance, or maybe just at the forefront, is the idea of a diamond. Um, a diamond, what allows a diamond to become as beautiful as it is. As a matter of fact, what makes a diamond so rare is the process that it goes through. I love this. It's the process that it goes through. You see, it goes through a process that is, there's pressure that has to be applied to it. And when that pressure is applied, what begins to happen, it produces purpose. It produces an opportunity for the diamond to come forth. When a diamond is formed, it has to go through extreme pressure and heat. It's a rare kind of process. It's a process that you right now are probably going through. It's a process that you right now are probably engaging in. It's a process you right now are probably feeling, and it probably hurts. It's probably painful. It's probably like, man, I can't do this any longer. You're probably having nights, you know, where you're kind of like, how should I say? You're falling, you're going to sleep and you're crying, but no one knows that you're going through that. You probably have times where people are asking you, hey, how's it going? And you put on that smile and you're like, yo, it's all good, everything's good. But then when you close your office door, you're like, I can't stand this place. You know, and so I'm talking to that type of man right now. And if you're not that type of man, I don't want you to hop off. What I want you to do is share this with someone else, because this story might not be for you, but it might be for someone else. But in a couple of days, in a couple of months, I might have something specifically for you. But the idea is for me to build the man that wants to become more than what they're living. They want to go beyond the process. They want to see what's on the other side. They feel stuck, but yet they're saying, man, I know there's more, so I don't want to give up, but I want to give up so bad. And I'm telling you, hold up just a minute. Don't just give up on that. Like, hold on to that, because that process is the pressure that is being applied in order to produce the diamond that's inside of you. You are a gem, brother. You are a gem. I'm letting you know. And I know a lot of times, like, we hear this type of talk with women, but sometimes us as fellas, we need to hear it too. We need to hear it too. We need to know, man, you know what? I am unique. I am one of a kind. Because a lot of times I believe what men are going through, and I'm kind of going off cuff right now, but a lot of times what men are going through is that they begin to step into places and spaces where they're looking at who they want to become in another man, but they kind of forget that there's something inside of them alone that is allowing them to become more of there's something inside of them that wants to become more. There's something inside of them, but because they can't access what's in them, they look at others, and that's where sometimes jealousy forms. That's where sometimes envy is formed. That's where sometimes these moments of, like, you look at somebody and you begin to have shame on yourself because you feel like, man, I'll never amount to that. But let me tell you, you're not supposed to amount to that. You're supposed to amount to the man that you're supposed to be. And I heard this saying one time that said, you know what? If you're busy being someone else, who's busy being you? If you're busy trying to be that other man, who's busy being you? If you're not on the earth being who you're supposed to be, then what aren't you bringing to the table? And the thought I have is, like, you know, the other day I had this breakfast that we do in at our church, and it's like this monthly men's breakfast, and it was our first one, and I made sure I brought something. But my thoughts and idea was, what if everybody was looking and saying, you know what, I know such and such is gonna bring something, I'm all right, I won't bring anything. I know such and such is going to bring something. It's all right. I don't need to bring anything. I know this person's going to bring something. It's all right. I don't need to bring anything. And what would have happened now? We wouldn't have had breakfast. We would have had fasting, right? We would have taken out the break out of there and we would have just had fast, okay? Break fast, right? We were supposed to break our fast, but we would have ended up keep fasting because nobody wanted to be who they were supposed to be. Nobody wanted to do what they were supposed to do. No one wanted to bring to the table what was supposed to be brought. And so at the end of the day, my call to you is bring yourself to the table. I don't care what you look like. I don't care how you look. I don't care what you are not able to say. I don't care what it is that you're dealing with. I don't care who it is that just spoke down to you or whatever the case may be. Bring that person to the table, because when you bring that person to the table, you are allowed to be who it is that you're allowed to be. And I promise you, somebody else is also bringing their maybe not their best selves, but maybe their worst selves. But by the time they leave that table, they'll be better than what they came out of. They'll be better. And that all depends on the table you're coming to. That all depends on the table you're coming to. So, and here I am trying to build a table. I'm trying to build a table of men that'll come together and be real with themselves. Listen, if you're in the chats right now, I want to know if you're here. I want to know if you're live right now with me, listening in. Don't just watch on the side and kind of hide out. No, I want you to subscribe to this channel. I want you to hit a thumbs up if I'm hitting some nodes. And I want you to let me know that you're here live with me. And if you're watching on the rebroadcast, it's okay. Let me know you're here. Type in refam. Let me know that you're available, that you are hanging with me. All right. And so the pressure prepares you. The pressure prepares you just as a diamond is prepared in the pressure, right? It's available for you as well. Joseph, you see, Joseph had favor, but the favor came through fire. The favor came through fire. I'm going back to that story about Joseph. Joseph had favor, but his favor came through fire. He had a couple of different trials. One, his brothers sold him in slavery. Two, he had this woman that was after him, that was checking him out. But mind you, the woman was married. And to make matters worse, he was working for the husband of the woman that was after him. Can you imagine that? Now, I mean, listen, some of you on here are probably like, yeah, listen, I'll hang with that. I'll do that, right? But I want to let you know that ain't the right thing. There's many other women that you can be with, that you can get to know. Like, that's somebody else's person. And so, although that woman wanted to provide to Joseph in the moment, all that she had was she was only supposed to provide her husband. She still, all in all, Joseph understood that, hey, I gotta step back. But what was crazy was that this woman lied and said that Joseph did try to do something to him, try to do something to her. And so even in the lie of Joseph getting that, even in him, in Joseph getting an opportunity, but then he walked away from the opportunity. And matter of fact, he didn't walk away; he ran away from the opportunity. He was still lied on and then imprisoned. But let me tell you, he found favor. So here's the story. Slavery, he gets sold into slavery. He gets thrown into a pit. His brothers take him out the pit and then sell him into slavery. When he gets sold into slavery, he gets into Potiphar's house, who is a general, right? So he's kind of taking care of a mansion, basically, to the point where this man would leave. The husband would leave to go fight. But even though the husband would leave to go fight, he left Joseph in charge of his home. And I guess this woman thought, like, all right, if my husband ain't here, then I guess if he's in charge, he'll take care of me. But Joseph's like, no, 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 you had nothing to do with this contract that I signed. So then he ran away. But then even in the running, he got lied on. And I don't know, like, if you are in a situation where you probably got lied on. I don't know if you're in a situation where you were cheated out of something. I don't know if you are in a situation where somebody betrayed you. But I want you to know that there is more. There is more. Like, the pressure will provide an opportunity for you to step into your purpose. I'm telling you because I've been through it. I'm telling you because I know what comes on after it. And I'm gonna tell you a little bit more about my story. I'm gonna tell you what happens after that. I'm gonna tell you what ends up taking place in my life after that. So after now we have this situation where Joseph is lied on, he gets imprisoned. But what's crazy is that even while he's in prison, he steps into favor with the warden. He steps into favor with the warden. The warden now puts him in charge of things. And so Joseph is like running things in the prison, right? And the warden actually trusts him. And so leadership is on this man. Leadership is kind of running through his veins. Everything he touches, everywhere he goes, he's a leader in those things. But what it is sometimes it can be a struggle for us to actually understand all the things that we're going through. It can overwhelm us. The weight of the expectations that are upon us ends up overwhelming us. You know, family. You've got career. You've got your faith. You've got job opportunities that are available. You maybe even have situations where you're also thinking to yourself like, man, I want to build something great. I want to do something better, and you're planning for that. You're writing those things down, but yet these things are what's providing you an opportunity to get to the other side, but you don't want to go through what it is. And I'm telling you, stay in the fire. Don't walk away from that. If this is hitting you and it's connecting with what I'm speaking of, I want you to go ahead and I want you to go ahead and subscribe. Subscribe to this channel because these are the type of topics we're going to be talking about. It could be it could be later on. It could be maybe it's a rebroadcast, or it's on the rebroadcast and you're watching. Go ahead and subscribe. You see, the tendency to give up when the pressure, sometimes we have a tendency to give up when the pressure becomes too much. I know sometimes I have that. I have a tendency where I want to give up when the pressure becomes too much. But I am no longer that person. I used to have that tendency, but then now it's like, man, I know what the fire burns. I know what comes out of the other side. I know what's produced when I go through that pressure. I know what gets produced when the struggle is taking place. But it's important for you to begin to reframe your thinking. It's important for you to not allow the pressure to be seen as a punishment, right? It's actually preparation. It's not a punishment, it's preparation. Sometimes we look at God and we be like, man, God, why would you put me through this? Why would you allow me to go through this? Why would you allow me to step into this situation? Why would you allow me to be that type of person that's going through this situation? But I want you to know that pressure is actually preparing you for something greater. The pressure is, there's a scripture that I love, and I want to see if I could find it real quick. But the scripture is James chapter 1. James chapter 1, okay? James chapter 1, verse 1 through 2 through 4. And I got my big old Bible that I'm opening up because I really want to find this scripture for you. It is what I had in front of me. So you're probably like, man, this guy's truly a Christian. Nah, it's just my Bible. Nah, I am. But this is my study Bible. And so when you're looking at James chapter 1, and I want to try to find it real quick. When you're looking at James chapter 1, you begin to realize what it is that God's trying to do. And James chapter 1, man. Okay, there we go. James chapter 1, verse 2 definitely says, there we go. James chapter 1 says, count it all joy when you fall into different types of temptations, knowing this, that the trying of your faith works patience. So believe in what you're going through because it allows patience. And the patience now, what perfects the work that's being done inside of you. getting you to a place where you want nothing, where you want nothing. You have everything you need. You're not wanting something more because you're in a space, in a place where you have a sound mind, where you have a place where you're thinking to yourself like, man, you know what? I'm reframing my thinking, because if I could reframe my thinking in the midst of the fire, in the midst of the pressure, in the midst of the struggle, in the midst of everything I'm going through, it can allow me to have a mindset that allows me to keep going further and understanding that this is only perfecting me, not pressuring me. It's not punishing me. It's actually perfecting me. It's preparing me for something greater, for something more. And here's the thing. I love that I opened up the Bible, and because for certain men, the Bible is what might be an anchor for them, but then for other men it might not be. And so I get that. That's all right. But I want you to anchor yourself in faith. Your unique struggle is what's shaping a unique purpose. Your unique struggle is what's shaping your unique purpose. You see, so I don't want you to let go of your faith and not believe in what you're going through. Believe that, man, there is something greater. So when you get your mind right and understand that, then it allows an opportunity for you to begin to say, okay, I see what's happening here. I see what's happening here. And you've got to look beyond the pain. You got to start asking yourself, what's being formed inside of me? What is being formed inside of me instead of why me? How many of you have asked that question? Why me? Why am I going through this? Why am I the one this is happening to? But what is being formed inside of you? That's my question to you, is what is being formed inside of you? What's happening inside of you that's allowing a characteristic that's being built that is going to prepare you for the greater that's in front of you? Listen, I know this is good because I've been through it and I've seen where it's taken me. So my question to you is, if it is like, hey, if this is good, if this is where I'm supposed to be, then how do I continue to bear and hold on to this? Well, I want you to know that, listen, the fire does feel unbearable at times. It feels like, man, I don't know what more to do. I don't know how to get through this any longer. But I want you to hold on to the vision that's in you. If you're watching right now and this is hitting, whether it's on the live right now or rebroadcast, like drop a comment saying like drop a one in the chat. Like, for because this might be just for you. So drop a one in the chat. Because the thing is, like, when you hold on to that vision, um it kind of prepares you for the greater that's in front of you. It prepares you for that. You see Joseph, and I'm going back to this man Joseph in the Bible, and he had a vision of greatness. He had a vision of greatness, but the process didn't look like the promise. He had a vision of greatness, like, and here's the vision. He had a dream. There was a dream. This is why his brothers had it with him. His brothers were like, listen, I can't stand you. You're the only one that got a coat of many colors, right? Because his father was in the house, and he sold him a coat of many different colors while his brothers were out in the field doing the work, and he was in the house with his dad, kind of like doing the things that his dad does at home. And while his brothers were working in the field, his dad was creating his coat of many colors. And I'm trying to think what else happened. And then he ends up having a dream. He has a dream where he talks about, man, I saw this opportunity, this moment where I'm this like big old sheave, and a sheave was kind of like this corn stalk, I guess you can think about in farms and stuff. And you guys were sheaves also, but excuse me, you guys were sheaves also, but yet you guys were lower than me, and I was higher than you. And it was like, yo, oh heck no. Nah, man, come on. This guy got a coat of many colors. He's at home with dad. I'm in the hot sun working. I come back, it's wild, it's crazy. Yeah, and you've been inside in this, and maybe not so hot, but at least it's a little cooler here and things of that nature. But yet and then now you want to tell me you had a dream? You had a dream? Well, listen, man, forget your dream, forget your vision. Matter of fact, forget you. and I'm gonna make that happen. So they put together a plan, and they threw this guy in the pit. They threw this guy in the pit. They made it so real that they took the blood of a lamb, and I believe it was either a lamb or a goat or something like that. But they took the blood of an animal, put it on a and that actually matters. You know, now that I say that, I got to look back at that story because I want to know. But anyway, that's beyond the point. But they took the blood of an animal and put it on the coat of many colors and brought it back to the father to make it seem like the kid had died. Like, come on, yo, that is a crazy plan. Some of you, like, you've probably gone through something with your siblings, and you're like, man, you know what? We just fought. It wasn't even that bad. And if it wasn't that bad, then you know, like it wasn't that bad. Like I'm just gonna hang with my brothers. I'm gonna hang with my sisters. Like I'm gonna hang with my siblings. I'm gonna hang with my family members. But these brothers, what they did, they dead on like they wanted this to look like a murder that didn't really happen because they didn't want the dad going to look for the brother, and then he gets sold in slavery. So it's like, but he had a vision, and the vision is what held on. He's like, the vision wasn't so much about him towering over his brothers. The vision was more so about the fact that, man, you know what, we're going to get out of this field one day. You know what, things are going to get better one day. Things are going to get greater one day. And I believe you've been talking to your friends or talking to people, talking to different types of people about the same things. Like, man, you know, things are going to get better. Like even in now in the economy that we're in the political environment that we're in at the time of this recording, or maybe even at the time of when you're watching this, this could be years later and you're watching this right now and you're still looking like, man, this looks crazy. Like this doesn't amount to anything I've been through before. But I want you to know, do not give up on that vision. Hold on to that vision. That vision is what's going to take you through. Like God will plant a seed inside of you that needs to be watered. God will plant a seed inside of you that needs to be taken care of until it blooms. And when it blooms, it still needs to be taken care of. It still needs to be watered. It still need the ground sometimes needs to be tilled a little bit. There's a pruning process that needs to take place for the leaves that are on there. But don't give up. Do not give up because there's something inside of you that wants greater. And I'm telling you, do not give up, brother. Like I'm telling you, don't leave that. Don't look back at that. Don't get away from that moment. And so I want you to understand, like, yeah, Joseph shared a dream, and they started to hate on him, but there was purpose in him. And I wonder if the people that are probably hating on you now, do they just not understand the vision that God has put inside of you? Do they just not understand the vision, the legacy that's within you? And funny thing is, they have legacy too, but they're busy focusing on on the legacy that you decided to share with them, and yet they don't recognize that there's something greater in them as well. But you do. That's why you're watching right now. You do. Like that's why you stuck out this long with what I'm sharing with you. So don't allow the words of what other people are saying to you to cause you to not like to say, hey, this vision that I got is a lie. No, it's not a lie. Hold on to it. Anxiety is going to come in the reality of contradiction. Okay, anxiety comes when reality contradicts the vision. Anxiety comes when reality contradicts the vision. How does that look? It's like I'm in the moment. I see the vision. I'm excited. I write it down. I share it with a couple of people, but then I get smacked down. I get thrown away. I get pushed aside. And it's like, man, I know what I'm working towards. I know what's in store for me. I know what it's gonna look like. And then all of a sudden, it begins to get to a point where you begin to say, man, that vision wasn't for me. Well, I want you to take that lie, throw it in the fire that you're in, and say, you know what? This fire is going to refine me. This situation is going to make me better. This situation is going to make me greater. There was a point in time where you used to get down on your knees and pray. There was a point in time where vision would be casted, where you would sit down with your spouse and you would talk about what's going on, or you would sit down in your house and you would begin to allow this moment, and you would drive down the road and you would begin to see these houses. You would begin to see these things that are happening all around you and say, man, you know what, this is for me. Like, I know there's more for me. But now, because you're going through the fire, it seems like, man, that is so distant from me. But I want you to know what happens when you're in the midst of fire. Oh man, this is good. Thank you. What happens when you're in the midst of fire? There's smoke. But on the other side of the smoke, there's something greater. There's help on the way. On the other side of the smoke, on the other side of the door, even though you can't touch it because it's too hot, even though you don't want to get close to the fire because it's like, man, if I get too close, it might just burn me up. Like, I want you to know, but on the other side, there's assistance. On the other side, there's assistance. So don't lose sight. Don't lose sight. Don't lose sight. Don't allow like the anxiety that's coming after you to make you lose sight of the vision. Don't allow it, and because the vision will be contradicted. The vision will be contradicted. It's all part of the process. It's all part of the process. Do not give up on the process too early. I'm telling you, man, like, don't give up on the process too early. And you know what's concerning sometimes is that the people closest to you can't see your vision. They can't. Sometimes your own spouse can't see the vision. And it happens. It happens. Sometimes we're in relationships where our spouses don't see the vision, where our girlfriend does not see the vision, where our best friend doesn't see the vision. That's okay, because the vision wasn't given to them. It was given to you. It was given to you. Sometimes you want to doubt the vision, but you want to share the vision because you doubt it. You yourself is doubting what has been like given to you, what you've written down, what came to your mind. You yourself are doubting it, and that's why you share it with others, because you can't believe that's going to happen. Joseph didn't actually believe that he was going to tower over his brothers. You don't think Joseph looked up to his brothers? You don't think Joseph wanted to be in the field? Let's think about it. You think Joseph wanted to be the only boy out of all of his brothers? He was the second youngest. The second youngest. He had another brother called Benjamin. And Benjamin was inside too because he was too young. But then Joseph was ready. It was time for Joseph to go out in the field. But his dad didn't want him to. His dad didn't want him to. That was his dad's favorite. He wanted him by his side. And then he wanted to have his other brothers like go out. But you don't think Joseph wanted to be with his big brothers? You know, when I'm dropping off my sons in the morning, I'm dropping them off to school. There's times where my wife is home and I'll say, "Hey, babe, can he stay with you?" And he's the youngest. Can he stay with you? And she's like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." But then when I'm leaving out the door and he sees all his brothers leaving, he's like, he starts crying, going wild, to the point because he wants to be a part of the action. You don't think Joseph wanted to be a part of the action? But the vision wasn't given to his brothers. And Joseph then shared his vision. And he shared his vision because he doubted it. He doubted it too. And as he doubted that vision, he wanted others to look at it and say, "Yo, listen, yeah, I believe it too. I believe that's possible." But at the same time, he was just like, but they were looking down on him and saying, "Man, I don't know what you talking about. You ain't gonna tower over me. You're not gonna run things like I'm running things out here." And so Joseph was going through it in his mind. But we've got to get to a point where we understand in our mentality that, you know what, God does have a vision that he's given me, and I'm gonna hold on to it whether I believe it or not. Whether I believe it. Like, there's a song that says, "You said it, I believe it." And that's probably the song that we got to think of. That's the song that we got to watch. That's the song that we got to like allow to hold on to us. You said it, I believe it. Like and that settles it. That settles it. I don't need to believe it. But when it comes to pass, oh boy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And who's you? God, right? Jesus, right? And listen, I'm not here to do this because I want Christian men to be like to get greater and better. Yeah, I want that. But I also want men that don't believe to understand this as well. Because sometimes we're holding on to a lifestyle that isn't rewarding us anything. Yeah, on the surface it looks good, but what if there's more on the other side? And the other side is actually getting in touch and in tune with our faith, getting in touch and in tune with our grandparents' faith, getting in touch and in tune with our father's faith, getting in touch and in tune with a faith that maybe nobody in our family's a part of. But it didn't result them anything great. And if you think great is the success that they have in the world, you're losing out on something even greater, something even better, a peace that surpasses all understanding. A peace when even in the midst of chaos, there's mind like your mind is at peace, knowing, hey, it's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right. All right. Sorry. But like I want you to know, don't give up when others don't understand your calling. Don't give up when others don't understand the vision that God has called you to. Like find faith-filled voices that remind you of your purpose. You don't want to hang out with friends that are always reminding you of the situation you're in. Nah, man. No. You don't want to hang out with friends that are always reminding you of the situation you're in. No, you want friends that are going to fill you up with faith, have you go out there and do some crazy, wild things. And I'll tell you this real quick. Like, I have a community called Whole, and I want you to be a part of that. I'll put it in the comments in a little while, but I have a community that I would love for you to be a part of. Because if you want to, like, like, I don't want you to join that community because it's like, okay, and it's free. It's free right now. And I want you to be a part of that because if you're looking for faith filled voices, like you can go ahead and join that community and watch what takes place. Watch what happens. Watch what begins to happen with your mindset. Watch what begins to happen in your walk. Watch how people begin to see you. The people that used to see you one way, they start seeing you another way. And I'll drop that in the comment. I don't. Matter of fact, let me see. I could drop it. I'm just gonna drop the link, okay? Because I don't have I don't want to spend time. Um, I don't want to spend time doing that right now because I want I really want you guys to get the rest of this. Okay? So go ahead. There it goes. That's the link. And you can go ahead and join that if you need faith-filled voices. But listen, if you don't want to join a community or whatever, like I'm building a community right here on YouTube. So click and subscribe to this channel because I'm gonna be on here Thursdays. I'm gonna be on here Saturdays. I'm gonna be taking your questions of what you're going through, your struggles and things of that nature. Like that's how we're gonna continue this, and we're gonna continue this conversation. We're gonna get into more of where are you being called to? What more is inside of you? You know you're stuck. That's why you've been watching this entire time. But I believe that you are not supposed to be going through this cycle. You're not supposed to be going through this cycle. There's something that's being missed. There's something that's being lost in the process. And in the process of you going missing out on that, I want you to know that okay, like if there's more on the other side, maybe I need to grab hold to a man. Maybe I need to grab hold to another friend, a new friend, a new person. I need to grab hold to this person to go to the next level, to go to the level of where I'm supposed to. So don't miss out on what's in front of you. And here's the thing, okay? I got two more points that I just want to make. There's favor in the fire. There's favor in the fire. God uses your struggle to build character. Character will be built if you allow your struggle to take you through that, if you allow your struggle to take you through that. I remember going through a specific struggle that I'm not going to talk about on this. And if you want to know a little bit more about that struggle, like, and you want to know the deets, go ahead into the community, because I have live sessions with my guys, with my whole men, right? And we talk about like some real live stuff. But I I remember going through a specific struggle that I thought I would never be able to come out of. And I remember just hearing God speak to me and saying, "Hey, you're going to be a man that is going to help others get through that struggle." And I was like, "Man, shut up." I'll be honest, like that's the way I spoke, because I was just like, "I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I don't believe that that's possible. I know what I'm going through. I know what this situation is requiring of me, and I don't believe that I'm gonna be able to get through this." And over time, I started to believe that. And here's why. Because there was another man on the other side of the phone that would give me a call almost every day and encourage me. Give me a call almost and if I was going through something, I'd pick up the phone and I'd call him because I started trusting him. But he was also a man that had gone through the same struggle that I had gone through. And he was telling me, "Man, listen, I'm good. Like I'm at a better place now. I'm better. I know what you're going through. I know what you've been through." And sometimes we need people in that midst. And I'll tell you something, during that season was the season when when I was out of work for months, and he would call me day after day, week after week, month after month, and he would be in the midst of that fire with me. And there was favor for me. That was the favor. Remember how I told you that I ended up losing my job, but yet I started driving for Uber when I realized, listen, these jobs are not coming through. And as these jobs were not coming through, but then when I would get a ride that I would go through, like one person would give me $50, which would probably cover that whole not the whole day, but it would cover at least five other rides that I probably didn't get. Like it was wild, man. It was wild, and there's favor that comes through the fire. Just because it's hard doesn't mean it's not God. Just because the struggle you're going through right now seems hard, it doesn't mean that it's not God. I think the lie that people get, like that people have sometimes, is that you think like, hey, when I step into this God that's supposed to save my life and get me to the place that I'm supposed to be, do the things that I'm supposed to do. When I get into that, things are gonna be great. Yeah, things are going to be great, but you got to go through a process to get there. You got to go through a process to get there. And let me tell you, it is great because now, before you were out there doing it on your own, but you got a greater God that sees it all, that is going to take you through that. And that actually reminds me of like a mentor sometimes. That reminds me of like when you have like, let's say you wanted to build a business, right? But you have no idea because you've never done it before, and you were trying it out on your own. You were going on YouTube University, trying to figure it out, trying to watch the videos and everything like that. But everybody's saying something different, and you don't know which one to choose. But then you try this, you're like, "Oh, I like this." Then you try that, "Oh, I like that even better." "Oh, I try," and then before you know, you don't know what to do because now you are confused out of your mind. But then you get a mentor that has done it already, that has been there already, that has gone through the fire already, to say, "Hey, let me let you know that when you come out of this, you're going to be whole. When you come out of this, you're going to get better. When you get out of this, man, I'm telling you, that vision that you got, that you shared with me, oh yeah, it's about to happen. I already know this because I've been through this already." And now they're like, now you got a phone call to make, because you could be like, "Hey, uh, I'm here. What turn do I make?" And it's like, "Oh, that's where you are? Yeah, yeah, man. Let me tell you. Go, make a left real quick, but then stop at the stop sign, then make a right. And then you'll be right where you need to be." And you didn't even realize it was that close. You didn't even realize because in the middle of it, you were like, oh man, here comes another obstacle. There's favor in the fire. There's favor in the fire. Just because it's hard doesn't mean it's not God. Doesn't mean it's not God. But you need like you need to know that like, hey, in the midst of this, that I am going to hold on to something greater. You've probably been going through this struggle for years. You've probably been going through the situation for years. But then even in the process of you going through that in years, you were going through it on your own. Let's get together. Let's do this together. Let's come together, whether it's in the community, whether it's here on this, like let's do this together. Don't lose sight of what more God's got for you. Don't lose sight of it. There's favor in the fire. Because here, let's go back to Joseph, right? Joseph found favor in some of the darkest places. He found favor in the midst of even from his brothers, right? Deciding to sell him in slavery. He found favor there. And then when he gets to Egypt, now who purchases him? And that might be a trigger for some, and I apologize. But who actually whose home does he end up going to? Potiphar's house, right? Who is actually a general, right? And then from there, what ends up happening to him? He ends up getting imprisoned, and even in the prison, how should I say this? The warden favors him. But then now we go further beyond that situation, and he now gets to the point where he is he gets into an opportunity to speak to Pharaoh, the first in command of that nation. And when he is able to share with Pharaoh what Pharaoh needed an answer to, Pharaoh then realizes, man, you're wise. Matter of fact, Pharaoh didn't only realize he's wise because what Joseph did in that moment was he said, hey, here's what my God has showed me. This ain't me. This is my God. Hey, this ain't me. I'm not going through this struggle on my own. This is my God. This ain't me. I didn't get through this myself. This was my God. Listen. And in the process of him saying that, what Pharaoh said now was like, hey, I'd rather serve your God. Because if your God can figure this out for me, I want to serve him. I want to know him. And as a matter of fact, we're going to put you in charge of this process that we need to go through, of this process that this entire nation needs to go through. So now we've got this young Joseph that has just gone through the fire, that now has to put together a system that will allow for nations to be saved. Some of you are probably thinking, man, that ain't my story. I ain't gonna save nations. Well, I'll tell you what, I believe that is your story. Those of you that are doubting even what I'm saying, I believe you have so much inside of you that you are not tapping into. And I want you to begin to tap into what you're feeling. I want you to tap into the defeat that you're feeling, because in the process of defeat, there is a feature that is available for you to unlock. Yeah, I'll say it again. In the process of defeat, there is a feature that is waiting for you to be unlocked. That is waiting to be unlocked. And that challenge will allow for you to become greater than the purpose, greater than the process that you're going to go through. It's going to allow you to like the diamond to be formed. It's going to allow the gem to be formed, the uniqueness that's inside of you. It's going to allow it to be formed. So I'm looking, like I'm telling you, I'm going back to that scripture, James chapter 1, 2, 4, 1, James chapter 1, 2 through 4. Count it all joy when you face trials, because the testing of your faith produces perseverance. It produces an opportunity for you to keep on going forward. It produces an opportunity for you to say, all right, there is more. There's more on the other side. Don't give up yet. Stay in the fire, because the fire is going to form something greater. Stay in the fire. Listen, if this is good, don't just leave. Don't just walk out of here. Like subscribe to this channel because I got more coming. I got more coming. I'm out here like preparing this stuff. I'm thinking about my life. I'm going through certain things, and I want you and as I'm getting through those things, I'm sharing it with you. All right. I'm sharing it with you because I know that there's opportunity available for you on the other side. Right. So go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and even join my school community. And I know it's like, all right, is this guy gonna trap me into something and not allow me to purchase, have me purchase something or whatever. No, that's not the plan right now. I'll be honest. I'm not trying to charge anybody anything right now. What I'm really trying to do is I'm trying to build a community of men internationally that will become whole so that they can take care of their minds, and when they begin to take care of their minds, they are able to focus on what's in front of them. And when they're able to focus on what's in front of them, they're able to impact their family, impact their community, and impact nations. Like this is what is being built here. This is what's being built. So when you understand there's favor in the fire, I want you to acknowledge the struggle. Acknowledge what you're going through. It's okay to feel overwhelmed. It's okay to feel like, man, I'm ready to quit. But I want you to know, don't do it. Don't do it. Acknowledge it. Write it down. Talk to somebody about it. But then also, I want you to seek God's perspective in the midst. Seek God's perspective. All right, God, I'm going through this. Here's the struggle. I wrote it down. Why? Why? Why am I going through this? Not so much like why me, but more so like, okay, what's being birthed in me? Okay? Not why me, but what's being birthed in me? What's happening inside of me that's going to allow me to get to the next level? I'm telling you, something is going on. Something is happening. And stay faithful. Don't lose sight of that faith, because that faith is what's building you up. That faith is what's taking you to where you have to be. Is that faith that's going to be built and allow you to go through greater fires. That's going to allow you to birth greater things. That's going to allow you to produce a greater character. All right. So here's my last point. Okay. And I'm going to let you go. My last point is the breakthrough comes after the fire. Elevation comes after endurance, okay? Elevation comes after endurance. Elevation comes after endurance. And when there's breakthrough comes, the breakthrough is coming after the fire. What's breakthrough? Breakthrough is the opportunity for you to step into something greater, like where like everything clicks. Everything clicks. Joseph, it started to click for him because when he now became the second in command in all of the land of Egypt, riding in the chariots of Pharaoh, getting married to a beautiful woman, Egyptian woman, and having a palace for himself, controlling the money that was coming into the treasury, doing all of these things like that. Now it began to click. Now it began to click. It began to click at that point. And when that began to click, it began to get to the point where now it started to make sense. And Joseph finally understood what the dream was all about. Like there's going to be a point where you will understand, oh, now the vision makes sense. I'm at that place. I'm a modern day Joseph right now, where I was sharing my vision, sharing my story, sharing my situation with everybody. And people would look at me like, yeah, I know. And then I would be, I'd be at work, I'd be going through these things, and I'd say, yeah, this is who I am, this is what I do, this is this. And you'd hear people say, man, you do a lot. And I'm like, man, maybe I do. Maybe I do a lot. Maybe I need to fall back a little. But I'll tell you what, what ended up happening. And here's the thing: when I lost my job, and we spoke about it a little bit, but when I lost my job, I look back at the moment where that happened. And when that happened was 9 months later. I end up getting another job. And I finally get this job, and when I get the job, things start to fall in place. And it didn't happen until, like, I started to really step in deep with myself and start to really, attack some things. And again, I don't have time to talk about all of that. But as that process began to happen, one of the things that really happened was I found an amazing church. I found the church that at the moment, at the time, they were just getting built. They were just like putting things together, and they were, they were planning to really just become greater, and to become better. And that church name is V1 Church. So if you're looking for a church, like, and you're on here and you're like, all right, I hear all you're talking about, but I don't got a church. Well, listen, V1 Church. You can look it up, V1 Church. It is phenomenal. I'll put that in the chat as well. Because I believe that you need to be a part of a space that where people are going to be able to just kind of share with you, and build you up. And so now I got that. And then from there, I went through, I became, I just kind of allowed that process to just refine me as well. I wasn't so much going through that same fire, but there were other fires that I would go through. And I would just continue to start looking at the fires as, all right, it's another refining process. All right, it's another one, and it's another one, and it's another one. And so as that began to happen, then my wife and I, we started to get out of debt. We bought a new home. We had two other children. Remember, I told you at that time she was pregnant, but then we had two other children. And then to go beyond that, like, then we buy a home. And then in the church, we start realizing more of our purpose. We start realizing more of what's happening. We build businesses. Some businesses fail, some businesses keep going. We're doing all these things. We're trying to craft what is it that God's wanting to do in our lives, in our life. And all of this favor is happening. And now, to come to the point where I'm actually speaking to men. And I remember I told you I was going through a struggle where God told me, hey, even in the midst of this struggle, I want you to know who you truly are. I want you to know that you're somebody that is going to get better at this, that you're going to be able to get through this struggle. And it's no longer, now I have an opportunity to speak to other men about that struggle. I have an opportunity to take men out of that struggle and put them and help them realize more of their identity. Like, you might be that man. And I want you to know that not so much I want to take you through something, but you might be that man that's supposed to take someone else through something. Don't give up on what God has in store for you. Don't give up on what is inside of you. Like, get your mind in the space. Like, what's bad, what sucks is that a lot of men start to quit when they're closest to their breakthrough. Don't give up just yet. Please don't. There's so much unfilled potential that ends up unfulfilled potential that ends up kind of just going through the wayside. But I want to let you know that as you step into the greater, as you step into the more, as you step into where you're being called, you begin to allow yourself to begin to tap into that potential. And before you know it, elevation comes. Elevation comes. Here's some real quick practical takeaway in reference to that. Don't abandon your calling because the heat turned up. Because the heat turned up. Like, don't abandon your calling because the heat turned up. Stay in the fire until the diamond is formed. Stay in the fire until the gem is formed. Stay in the fire until you become who you are called to be. You have not been forgotten. You have not been forgotten. You have not been forgotten. You are more than a conqueror. You are a victor. The battle has already been won. You're just walking to the kingdom. You're walking back to the palace. You're walking back into the space that you were called to be. Elevation comes after endurance. And I want you to embrace the growth that's being avoided through the pain. Like embrace the growth. Embrace the growth instead of avoiding the pain. Embrace it. Don't just say, "Oh man, this is not for me." Like embrace the growth that's being that instead of avoiding the pain. Many men, man, oh man, so many men, and this might be you right now. You're looking at your pain and you're saying, I'm gonna just put that to the side. I can't deal with that right now. I can't deal with that right now. Like I don't got time for that right now. But I need you to embrace it. I need you to say, you know what, this hurts. This is tough. Like this is hard. I can't continue to run through this. I can't continue to build through. I can't be continue to talk through. I can't and you keep saying what you can't continue. But I want you to know that it is your duty to continue. Because when you embrace that growth, you were built for this. You were built for this. You were built for this. Don't give up. Don't give up. You were built for this. Like there's more available to you. Listen, I know we talked about a lot. I know there's like I just wanted to come in here and just like, fire you up because it's time that you stay in the fire. It's time that you stay in the fire. Like and let me tell you something. When you make up in your mind that you're going to stay in the fire, that you're going to keep going, you're going to allow the process to refine you, that's when the fire finally kind of like it kind of levels out and you have an opportunity now to either jump like jump through it, or you have an opportunity to kind of like just walk right through it, or you have an opportunity where the fire just completely dissipates fully and you're like, oh shoot, well I guess I could keep on going. And because now you made up in your mind that this doesn't even matter anymore. And what I mean by it doesn't matter anymore is like, I'm not gonna make this situation more than it is. I'm just gonna go through this process and allow it to do what it needs to do through me. And as that happens, man, you're gonna see favor come out of it. You're gonna see favor build out of this. So, like, my thing for you is this: are you in a season right now where you're going through the pressure? And if you is, whoa, if you are, if you are, I want you to drop a comment, okay? Drop a comment. You don't gotta tell me what season you're in, but just let me know, like, hey, I'm staying through the fire. Like, I'm not gonna keep trying to excuse me, what's the word? Kind of like dissipate this fire myself. I'm not gonna keep trying to pour my buckets of water through the fire. No, I'm gonna just let God do what He's doing, and I'm going to allow the process to extinguish the fire, and then I will step into more. I'll step into greater when that time is right. And and I want you to stick with me, because as you stick with me, as you subscribe to this channel, as you hit the thumbs up, you're letting other people know, like, hey, you need to listen to this. This stuff is rich. I got some other stuff on my channel that I've been doing these past couple of months, but it's going to get even richer. It's going to get even better. There's a Everyday Man podcast that drops almost every day, where I post what's it called? Like, kind of like these opportunities to just speak to the everyday man, like that's struggling through things, that's going through things, but to let them know, like, hey, on the other side, let me tell you what's available. Let me tell you who you truly are. Let me speak into your life and let you know where you're being called to, what's actually really happening. Because sometimes when we're right in front of it, we don't see the whole picture. But if somebody can just pull the picture back and be like, oh shoot, wait, that's not just one finger. There's 10 fingers here. Yeah, it looks like, oh man, like, man, this is just one finger, but when you push it back and you're like, oh wait a minute, there's a lot more here. Wow. Okay, I got a whole bunch of fingers in front of me. When it was one finger, I couldn't even do anything. But when there's 10 fingers, man, I got a whole hand. I got two hands. I could grab hold of some things and I could begin to do something with this thing. Like there's opportunity here. So subscribe, engage, all right? Subscribe to this channel. If you're a male, like go ahead and join this community called Whole, where we are, where I help men become greater than where they're where I help men that feel stuck transform into something greater, transform into the greater that's within them. Behind the scenes, they're crying, they're dealing with it, they're going through it. But then when this is a space where you can be real, where there's raw material, where it's a group of men that are trying to get to the next level, and as they're going through that, they have an opportunity to build and to be built into the legacy maker that they're supposed to be. So listen, I've been on here long enough. I'm gonna be back on here on Saturday at 10 a.m. I want you to join me because in the process of me doing that, in the process of me doing that, you can ask questions. Maybe you're going through something right now, and you can ask some questions, and we could talk through it. All right. So I got a couple of my boys on here. I got Brian, I got Roger, and there's gonna be other men that join on as whether it's right now or on the rebroadcast. And when you're on there, I want you to hit refam, drop something in the comment, and let's engage. All right. Thank you. I look forward to seeing what more God will do through your life. Take care.